तुलसी महारानी की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि 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 बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiret Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Canto 2, Chapter 4, Canto 2, The Process of Creation, and Chapter 5, The Cause of All Causes. Text 1. I will recite for 3 times and then if anyone would like to chant. Narad Uvacha Deva Deva Namastestu Bhut Bhavan Purvaja Tad Vijanihi Yajnanam Atma Tattva Nidarsanam. Narada Uvacha Deva Deva Namastestu Bhut Bhavan Purvaja Tad Vijanihi Yajnanam Atma Tattva Nidarshanam. Narada Uvacha Deva Deva Namastestu Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Tad Vijanihi Yajnanam Atma Tattva Nirdashanam. If anyone would like to repeat.
Narada Uvacha Deva Deva Namastestu Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Tad Vijnanihi Yajnanam Atma Tattva Nidarshanam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Narada Uvacha Deva Deva Namastestu Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Tad Vijanihi Yajnanam Atma Tattva Nidarshanam.
Thank you, Mataji.
Narada Uvacha Deva Deva Namastestu Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Tad Bijanihi Yajnanam Atma Tattva Nidarshanam.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to try? All right. Synonyms. Naradaha Uvacha. Sri Narada said, Deva, of all demigods, Deva, the demigod. Namaha, obeisances, Te, onto you as. Astu, are. Bhuta Bhavana, the generator of all living beings. Purvaja, the firstborn. Tat Vijanihi, please explain that knowledge. Yat Jnanam, which knowledge. Atma Tattva, transcendental. Nirdarshanam, specifically directs. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. By His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Narada Muni asked Brahmaji, O chief amongst the demigods, O firstborn living entity, I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Please tell me that transcendental knowledge, which specifically directs one to the truth of the individual soul and the super soul. Purport: the perfection of the parampara system or the path of disciplic succession is further confirmed. In the previous chapter, it has been established that Brahmaji, the firstborn living entity, received knowledge directly from the Supreme Lord. And the same knowledge was imparted to Narada, the next disciple. Narada asked to receive the knowledge, and Brahmaji imparted it upon being asked. Therefore, asking for transcendental knowledge from the right person and receiving it properly in the regulation of the disciplic succession. This process is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita 4.2. The inquisitive student must approach a qualified spiritual master to receive transcendental knowledge by surrender, submissive inquirers, and service. Knowledge received by submissive inquiries and service is more effective than knowledge received in exchange for money. A spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from Brahma and Narada has no demand for dollars and cents. A bona fide student has to satisfy him by sincere service to obtain knowledge of the relation and nature of the individual soul and super soul. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for joining today. Before discussion, I just want to express my heartfelt gratitude for giving me this opportunity of glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam today. It's always auspicious to talk about Srimad Bhagavatam, and whosoever even listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, they both are auspicious, as mentioned by Shukadev Goswami in this very particular book. So I'm very grateful and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and seeking blessings from all of you to start today's discussion. I just want to bow down onto the lotus feet of all the exalted Vaishnavas present on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyacha kripa sindhubhayevacha patita nama pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. So translation again, one more time. Sri Narada Muni asked Brahmaji, O chief amongst the demigods, O firstborn living entity, I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Please tell me that transcendental knowledge which specifically directs one to the truth of the individual soul and the super soul. And in the purport, the first line which Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, the perfection of the parampara system or the path of disciplic succession is further confirmed. So mainly, we will talk about the parampara system today because in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing on the importance of having disciplic succession. Disciplic succession, parampara. Parampara means param, which is high. Para, which is flowing from the above, is parampara. And the Sanskrit word for parampara is sampradaya. Samyak rupena pradayate iti sampradaya. Sampradaya means that which provide the exact accurate information about the Vedic philosophy. Now, Vedic system, or I should say Vedas, it's not a question of research. And it's not that we are going to research something in the laboratory, and then we will find something, and then we will prove it with that thing. So, Veda is Apurusha sound, Aprakata sound, which is coming straight from Lord Sri Krishna himself, who is the actual, real spiritual master of everyone. And we discussed in the last chapter also how Shukadev Goswami is very kindly praying to the Lord, and he is referring that he is the same Lord who was the member of Yadu dynasty, who was in the Rasa Leela, the same Lord Sri Krishna who gave knowledge, who imparted knowledge to Brahmaji. So we should understand that this knowledge is coming directly from the Lord himself. So I decided just for preparing this class to divide this class into 4 subsections. Why parampara system is very, very important. But before starting that, I want to narrate a very small story. Think about a situation where there is a person who just trapped in a well, a dry well, and he wants to get out of it. And he is trying, and he is looking for some help. And suddenly there are 4 people who come, and they just throw ropes. Each particular person is throwing rope. And that person who is trapped in a well, he is trying to just, if he grabs onto only one rope, he can come up very easily. So this is the situation of a living entity. We are in the dark well of this material existence. And we want to come out of this dark well and want to go back to Lord Sri Krishna. And these 4 ropes are 4 sampradayas, which are given by our acharyas. And these 4 sampradayas are Rudra Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, and Kumar Sampradaya. So, and the deity for all these sampradayas, they are all devotees of Lord. For Sri Sampradaya, Lakshmi Ji is the Acharya or the founder. For Rudra Sampradaya, Lord Shiva. For Kumar Sampradaya, 4 Sanat Kumars. And for Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we know it's our Brahmaji, Lord Brahma. So the Sampradaya system is such an important system. Why we have to follow the parampara? Why we have to go and just follow any of these 4 paths or 4 sampradaya, not something else, and especially because we are in Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. So why we have to go into this path? So we are going to discuss this. So 5 reasons which I thought, mainly everything which we will cover. First is man has 4 defects, right? So as I already spoke, Vedic knowledge is not a question of research, nor it can be imparted by any defected living entities who is conditioned by the modes of material nature. So because man has imperfect senses, we can commit mistakes, we are always in illusion, and we have cheating propensities. So no one can reach the conclusions of the Vedas. Lord Sri Krishna, in 15th chapter, he is describing that the main purpose of this human life is to understand Vedas. And what is the conclusion of Veda? Is to understand Lord Sri Krishna. But with our imperfect senses, we cannot just read the book and we think, I'm reading the book and I'm going to get it. Even in the material world, if someone wants to become a surgeon or a medical practitioner, if he just study the book, nobody is going to allow him to just do surgery in the hospital. Even for that, they have to go through a university which is affiliated or university which is authorized to impart such education. Even for mundane education, we have to go through the higher universities, which are affiliated to some affiliated to some kind of authority. So what to talk about the sampradaya or the parampara system, where we have to learn the exact message which is coming through from the top. Yesterday, a very beautiful discussion was happening that with the changing of time, place, and circumstance, how the same thing is flowing. So the preaching methods can differ. I mean, now we are sitting online, we are talking, we are discussing online. But before few years, we cannot even think that for temple Bhagavatam classes, we are going to meet like this. So the preaching methods can be different, but the content, the main content, should remain the same, and it should be exact. It should not be one line minus or one line plus. That's how the parampara system should flow. If we see in so many letters of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada has mentioned, I am a humble servant of my master, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. He never ever mentioned in his letters or in his conversations that I am your guru and you all of you have to follow me, because it is a succession. So leaders who are actually leaders, they create the successions, but who are boss, they just are very scared of their own position. So the guru parampara is not the replacement of guru. It's not that Prabhupada just replaced Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur totally and was claiming that everything which I am teaching, these American boys and girls are coming from me. No, Srila Prabhupada always mentioned that this is coming from my parampara, and my guru is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And even he always give a credit to his disciples that because of all of you, I am able to preach my movement, because all of you are the representatives of my guru. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. Even we see that in ISKCON parampara, in ISKCON Vartaman Vrind, in ISKCON present situation, there are so many gurus. So nobody is replacing Srila Prabhupada. Even in our initiation ceremonies, we hear that, at least that's what I heard from my Guru Maharaj, that on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, I am giving you the name Madhavi Gaurangi Devi Dasi. So it's like that Prabhupada, it's not the replacement of Guru, it's just that parampara is going in succession. We all know that Krishna conscious movement, this movement is such a wonderful movement, and it is coming from the bona fide parampara system of Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnav Sampradaya. And verse, Bhagavad Gita verse, which Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, 4.2, Evam parampara praptam imam rajasayo vidu sakalena mahata yogo nashta parantapaha. So what is the translation which Prabhupada did for this verse? This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So the Prabhupada, I was reading it, so I was thinking that Prabhupada has mentioned chain of disciplic succession in the translation of this. So what is the meaning of chain? Chain means that similar objects which are there in a thread or in a rope, whatever it is. So chain, that's a chain, one after another, after another, after another, but they all represents the same thing. Like in our Kanthi Mala, we can see, in our necklaces, we can see. So Prabhupada is mentioning the word chain. So that means it is coming in the chain. Actually, it is coming with it is coming with such a transparent form. It is coming in such a lineage form that it is nothing is getting distorted in between. But the parampara succession got lost, and that therefore Lord Sri Krishna had to impart knowledge to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. That's why Lord Sri Krishna himself mentioned that the chain got, that the disciplic succession got broken. And that's why Lord Sri Krishna, he himself, who is Apurusha, who is the supreme master, he is giving that knowledge again, which he has imparted to the sun god, Vivaswan. And then Vivaswan to Manu, Vivasvat Manu, and then to Ikshvaku. And that's what Lord Sri Krishna is mentioning here too. So it is very important to know that there are two processes of attaining knowledge. By knowledge, I mean spiritual knowledge. But in material world also, there are two processes. One is inductive method and other is deductive method. Ascending process and other is descending process. And it says in Vedas that deductive method is considered to be more perfect. Why? Because in inductive method, there are assumptions. They assume things. They think, okay, hypothesis. In science, we do experiments. And for that, we have to think about an hypothesis. Okay, this must have happened. This must have happened before. And from that hypothesis, from that imagination or assumption, we start to then draw the conclusions. That's called the ascending method. And what is deductive method? A deductive method or descending process is coming from the top to bottom. For example, an experienced person who is a seer will provide information to the seeker. And then that seeker within a course of time will become the seer, because he started to look the world. He started to look the world according to the Vedic information, which is imparted to the seeker through the seer. So in due course of time, that seeker will become seer. And then next generation will come, and the same seeker who is seer now will impart knowledge to other seer, to other seekers. And then this will happen generations after generations after generations. So that's how deductive method or deductive method, which in Sanskrit is called Avroha Pantha, and inductive method, it's called Aroha Pantha. So the marg, which is the path of Avroha Pantha, is what recommended in Vedas. And also there are three proofs which Srila Prabhupada was mentioning in one of his purports, and I thought that it's very interesting to just talk about it, because it is related to today's class. There are three kinds of proofs according to the Vedic system, and three proofs are Pratyaksha, Anumana, and Shabda. And what is Pratyaksha? Pratyaksha is if you're sitting in front of me and I can see that this is Pratyaksha, and I can say, yeah, Mataji is sitting in front of me, and this is Pratyaksha because I can see that. And what is Anumana? Anumana means that we just assume, okay, I can hear the noise of kids from outside playing in the playground. So maybe there are 4 or 5 kids playing outside. And Shabda. What is the third thing? Shabda. Shabda, or the transcendental, when we hear the transcendental knowledge from the perfect devotee of the Lord, who is called the spiritual master. That's called Shabda. So very beautifully, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that Shabda is the method of understanding truth from the higher authority. When we hear and we understand from the higher authorities. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see that there is a discussion going on between Shukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So Shukadev Goswami is imparting knowledge to Parikshit Maharaj, and the entire scene, entire Bhagavatam was heard by Sutta Goswami, and now Sutta Goswami is reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to the sages of Naimisharanya. And then there is a discussion come where Sutta Goswami is also mentioning about Vidura and Maitreya Muni. So there is discussion after discussion after discussion that particular person gives information to this, that particular guru gives information to this. And even in this particular text, we can see that in last chapter, how Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukadev Goswami for making him understand about the creative energies of the Lord. And now how he is replying back? He is replying back by giving him the example of Narad Muni, when Narad Muni asked the same question from Brahmaji. So there is conversation between conversation, because this is called Shabda, hearing from the higher authorities and coming. And this is coming from that ultimately the information was imparted by Lord Krishna himself to Brahma, and then from Brahma to Narada, and the same conversation Shukdev Goswami is talking to Maharaj Parikshit. Even in further chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, we will see there are so many incidences like that. And when Parikshit Maharaj will ask question from Shukadev Goswami that how come Lord is favorable to the gods, demigods, and not favorable to demons. And in answer to that, the story of Narad Muni was narrated by the story of Narad Muni was narrated to Yudhishthira, and Shukadev Goswami is going to take the reference of that story, that how Yudhishthira Maharaj also asked the same question from Narad Muni when Shishupal died in the Rajsuya Yagya. Not died, I mean Krishna killed Shishupal in the Rajsuya Yagya. The same question Yudhishthira Maharaj asked, and now the same question you are asking. So he was giving this exact conversation, what took place when there was conversation between Narad Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj. And that's how story of Prahlad Maharaj came into the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can see that how we are hearing, and this process of deductive method or Avroha Pantha is coming into picture. Now why this process is coming, and how we can see why we have to follow this descending process. Because the other point is, any person can make anything up. So the foundation of the parampara is authority. You accept a guru. We accept a guru. At some point, that guru had a guru. And at some point, that guru had a guru. And it is called succession for a reason. Why? Because we can understand like that. If there is a river without the boundaries, right? If there is a river without boundaries, then river can flood everything, and everything can get destroyed, right? So there are boundaries, or we can say there are boundaries in which a river has to flow. So that's why a parampara system makes sure that nothing new is being added, and whatever information the succession is getting, or the followers of the parampara is getting, is exact and correct. That's why authenticity is very, very important. If it is not correct, then anyone can say anything to me. And that's what is happening in today's world. We can see, especially in India, I'm aware that anyone can come up and say that I am God. All of you should worship me. I can do some kinds of magic and now I am God. You can worship me. Or somebody can say, okay, did you see God? Where is God? So for all these things, there are some movies also which are out there which convince people that there is no existence of God. And think about this, if we don't have Srila Prabhupada books and Srila Prabhupada representatives as our spiritual masters, then then today we would have been fallen trap of all these people who are just giving any kind of information to the people who are not aware about the real Vedic philosophy. In time of Srila Bhakti Vinod Saraswati Thakur also, these people who were trying to impart fake knowledge or fake information about Vedas were prevalent. And it is very, I was reading the other day, it is so interesting how Bhakti Vinod Thakur just condemned everything. So for parampara to go like that, it is very important, the authenticity and the authority. Authority should be there. That's why the need of parampara is there. I was reading one of the purports of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada mentioned that by scholarship, we may be able to manufacture some kind of theories about Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, but we cannot understand the real message of these literature unless we are hearing from the right source. And Srila Prabhupada in the same purport is mentioning that Mahatma Gandhi, how he interpreted Bhagavad Gita in an effort to support his own theory of non-violence, and how he was preaching to all Indian society at that point that Bhagavad Gita is the book of non-violence, and it is imparting the information, or the conclusion is non-violence, because that was the mission of Mahatma Gandhi at that time. But Srila Prabhupada, in the same purport, is saying that how it is possible that Bhagavad Gita, which is the book in which Lord Sri Krishna himself is telling Arjuna that go and fight, this is your duty. How this book can be of non-violence? So Srila Prabhupada is saying that Bhagavad Gita, the conclusion is that Lord Sri Krishna at the end of the chapter is mentioning Sarva Dharman Paritajya Mam Ekam Charnam Braja Aham Tam Sar Papebhyo Mokshishyami Mahashushaha. That Lord Sri Krishna himself is giving the conclusion at the end of Bhagavad Gita, and that's how Arjuna understood it, and that's how our acharyas are telling us. Then how come anybody can come up with any kind of conclusions? So in order to save us from all these discrepancies or all these deviations, what we have to do, we have to just stay connected with the parampara. And there was one there are two more examples which I would like to give. I was reading that there was one Gopi Bhav club which just emerged at the time of Srila Prabhupada within ISKCON. So, and Srila Prabhupada, he got to know about this Gopi Bhav club where his disciples were mingling with other Sahajiya Babajis in Vrindavan, and they were trying to act like gopis, or something was happening at that point. And then when Srila Prabhupada got to know about it, he immediately condemned it and he immediately stopped it. He said that there is no need to prematurely act like gopis, because those Babajis even in Sridham Vrindavan, what they are doing, they are just attached to mundane sex information, and they are just trying to extract that information from Srimad Bhagavatam, and they are trying to enact like that. So there is no need for my disciples to behave like that. So there is a big letter of Srila Prabhupada, which Prabhupada wrote to one of his disciples. I will. So it is very important that how even at the time of Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned, not in this occasion of Gopi Bhav Club, but in other occasions also, we can see that whenever some kind of mantra deviation happened, then also some kind of mantra deviation, for example, sometimes people started to chant some other mantra rather than Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, or Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe, just like that. So Srila Prabhupada immediately stopped that. He said that this is the mantra which is coming to us through our parampara, and we should follow this mantra and not get deviated from one path to another. We should not try to just make up our own mantra and start chanting that. And the same thing happened when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was there. In his Gaudiya Math also, same thing happened. There was deviation in the mantra, and then he has to correct his disciples. So it is very, very important that what we are receiving, it's coming exactly the same way and through the authoritative people, those people who are in the disciplic succession. I was looking and I was reading, and I think that this prayer of I'm sorry, this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapter 8, 42 might be of help. So the translation goes like that: King Indra, who performed 100 sacrifices, received this prayer of protection, the Narayan Kavacha they are talking about, from Vishnu Rupa. After conquering the demons, he enjoyed all opulences of the three worlds. So the context was that Indra, once, because he neglected his Guru Maharaj, therefore he lost against the demon. And when he lost against the demons, he had to fall down from the heavenly planets. And there he wanted to fight with the demons and wanted to regain his kingdom back. But Brahaspati, because he insulted Brahaspati, so Brahaspati, who is his spiritual master, he was not there with him. And at that time, he prayed Vishwarupa. He prayed from Twashta, and Twashta is the father of Vishwarupa, and then Vishwarupa became his priest, just like that. And then Vishwarupa gave him Narayan mantra, Narayan Kavacham, and that Narayan Kavacha helped him to win against the demons. So in this, it is in this, the purport is very, very powerful, which Prabhupada is mentioning, that how Indra is getting the authorized mantra from the authorized person. And if it is not like that, then even the mantra has names of Lord in it. Mantra has such power, because we always hear that Krishna's name is non-different from Krishna. But if that mantra, if those names of Krishna, they are not coming from the right source, from the proper disciplic succession, then what happens? Sampradaya vahinena ge mantrasya te nishvala mataha. In Padma Puran, it is said that if the mantra is not coming from the sampradaya, then it is nishvala mataha. That means that it has no power. It is not going to help. It's not going to impart any kind of result to the chanter. And even Madhavacharya also points out in the same purpose, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, Vidya karmani cha sada guru praptaha falapadaha anyata naiva faladaha prasannokta phala pradaha. That one must receive all kinds of mantras from a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, mantras will not be fruitful. It is not going to help anybody. And why to go somewhere else? Sri Krishna, who is the root of this disciplic succession, he himself is saying in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upakdeshayanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. That just try to learn the truth by approaching the spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. What the same Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport. The same purport, almost the same. Submissively and render service unto him. And the self-realized soul can impart you knowledge. Why? Because that self-realized soul is tattva darshinaha. The same thing, the guru or spiritual master is Shrotriya Brahmanistha. Shrotriya Brahmanistha. That means Brahmanistha, guru, spiritual master, has faith in the authority of Lord Sri Krishna. Shrotriya, he has heard it from the chain of disciplic succession himself. That's the definition of guru, which is given in Katha Upanishad also. So, also one of the shlokas which Sri Krishna mentioned, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Imam vivasvata yogam proktavan aham avyam vivaswan manve praha manu ikshvaku bravit. And we already talked about it, that how Lord has given this information very nicely, and how the succession has broken. And because of this reason, Lord Sri Krishna had to again impart the same knowledge to the sun god. And so we covered this. And why? So any person can make anything up. I was talking about this subsection. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3 and verse 44, also what is mentioned? Tatra kirtayato vipra viprase bhuri tejasa aham chadya gamam tatra nivistas tad anugrahat soham vascha vishyami yatha dihitam yatha mati. That means Shukadev Goswami, that means in this, Sutta Goswami is talking with the sages of Naimisharanya, and he is saying that I am going to impart you the same knowledge which I heard from my spiritual master Shukadev Goswami in the presence of Emperor Parikshit. I am going to impart you the same knowledge. And now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him and as I have realized it. Yatha dhitam tat yatha mati. So why we have to understand the knowledge from our guru? Because it is a tested path, and it is based on experience. Guru has experienced it. Guru has learned the truth. Guru, in the previous verse also, which we were discussing, Jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Guru had learned it. Guru knew the exact thing, and Guru will impart the knowledge depending on the capability of the disciple. You know, when we ask for the feedback from our seniors or from our peers, then many times our peer or our seniors, might hesitate to provide us the honest feedback that how you should improve in your bhakti. But your guru knows how to give you exactly what you need to improve, and he may chastise you even. But these days we can see that disciples also want the gurus who will not from on in this ISKCON, but I'm talking outside ISKCON, that people are seeking for those gurus who can give them some kind of health benefits or some kind of some kind of boon for opulences. But the actual opulences to achieve Lord Sri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in one of his classes I was listening that only that person is eligible to become guru who is or eligible to called as a guru who is imparting the transcendental knowledge about Krishna, and not any mundane scholar can be a guru. We often quote some of our teachers in school as guru too, but guru is a spiritual word which is coming from the parampara, and in parampara, and it should be used for one who is imparting the transcendental knowledge. So we can see that when we pay money for getting the knowledge or education, these days we have the education system where we have to pay money, and then when we pay money, in return of that we get information or education. And when we pay money, then it's the respect for the teacher. Still we have to respect our teacher, but it's like a paid servant, right, that we are paying, and that's why this particular person is educating us. Or this particular university, I am in this university, I paid heavy amount of money. That's why. It's not because it's any kind of mercy or any kind of authority is there. But the thing is, I am paying money. That's why they are giving me the education and degree. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that these gurus who impart transcendental knowledge is not after for any dollars or cents. In the Vedic India, in traditional India, in Gurukula, the system was that guru used to impart knowledge to the disciples in all the fields, whether math, science, or Vedas. And then at the end of the term, or at the end when the disciple knows everything, then at the end disciple gives some kind of guru dakshina or some kind of not reward, but some kind of respectful reward to guru. And it's not like that they used to pay a monthly, and there was not money or something. There is some kind of, like Lord Sri Krishna also, for Sandipani Muni, he asked him that, because you are Lord and I know that, so can you please revive my dead son? And that's what Krishna gave his guru as Guru Dakshina, or a reward, a respectful reward to his guru. So though in those days, that's what used to happen, and that's why the gurus had so much respect. Even Kshatriya kings used to bow down in front of those spiritual leaders. So so that's the tested path, and it is based on experience. So here also one of the reasons why we follow the parampara system, because Sri Krishna himself is recommending it. And we already discussed about it, that Sri Krishna himself is recommended it, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena seveya. And Sri Krishna is not only recommending it, but Sri Krishna is the main root of it. Sri Krishna is the one through which this parampara is sprouting out. So, we already discussed how Prabhupada has given a very, very beautiful meaning of parampara, in that evam parampara praptam, the chain of disciplic succession. So I think time is there, but at last I want to mention one of the verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 17.18. And sometimes I saw that speakers recite this verse also before beginning of the class. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tam aham vande paramananda madhavam. The translation is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the form of Satchidananda Vigraha, transcendental bliss, knowledge, and eternity. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him who turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. Such is the mercy of Lord. Such is the mercy of Lord. Yeah. So, Lord or the spiritual master, we can see that here they are in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It mentioned that how, because of the mercy of Srila, because of the mercy of Guru, any dumb person can speak. Any dumb person. And even one who is not capable to listen, he can listen. Bhagavatam, all because of the mercy of the Lord and all because of the mercy of Guru Maharaj or Srila Prabhupada or our spiritual masters. So it is very important to remain in the parampara system, and very, very important, as Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, to follow the rules and regulation and not to deviate or not to jump from one sampradaya to another, from another to another. It often says that one who tries to swim or to cross the ocean or imagine this situation when one person is trying to ride a boat, two different kinds of boat. Will he going to cross the ocean? No. So better to sit in the boat of ISKCON here, because we all are devotees of ISKCON, I would say, of our sampradaya. And then with the help of our Guru Maharaj, we should just cross this ocean of material existence. And that's what I was, a question was asked to one senior disciple of Prabhupada, that now all these Prabhupada disciples, they are leaving their body slowly. What's going to happen after this? And then the answer came, and I think which was very appropriate and very appropriate for our class today, that the bodies will change, the vapus will change, but the Vani will remain the same. And the Vani is Sri Bhagavatam, what Prabhupada has mentioned. Prabhupada is the same, his Vani will remain same, and it is going to go on for generations and generations and generation. Might be there were different vapus or different physical bodies, but the information which is coming straight away from Lord Shri Krishna will remain the same. And as a disciple, it is our duty to understand and grasp onto that, tap onto that knowledge very nicely. And how we can tap onto that knowledge very nicely, if we can avoid lethargy and our ego. If we can avoid these two things, lethargy, being complacent, okay, now I have full life, it's Krishna conscious movement, is not just for enjoyment, that we come to the temple, eat prasadam, dance and have fun, that's it. No, it's continuous improvement. We have to improve ourselves every day, every moment. We should hear, we should try to do something about Krishna, as guided by Srila Prabhupada. The entire day should be in Krishna conscious, not be complacent. And other is ego. I know much more than others. I read Bhagavatam so many times, so I am better than this speaker, or I am better than this particular person. If these two things are there, then it becomes like an elephant's bath. When elephant try and take a bath very nicely, he cleans himself, and that at the end, what he does when he come out, he just roll in the mud again. So that's why our car of Krishna consciousness is on the brake, and we try to just we are just trying to go ahead, but not happening. Why? Because we are not getting the information as it is coming, or if even we are getting, we are not implying that information into our lives correctly. So I think I will stop here, and thank you so much for giving this opportunity to me to speak. If I said anything wrong, please excuse me. And if my delivery was not good, please excuse me. And please bless me that I will be able to preach Krishna's glory in future. Hare Krishna. Any questions, any comments? Most welcome. Any chastisements, anything is welcome.
Thank you very much, Mataji. It's a wonderful class.
Thank
And
you.
a lot of points you covered. Yes, we know we need to know the parampara system, and then we need to not that any ego or anything, and need to keep whatever preaching we need to implement also. And
Yes.
whatever we are listening, we have to implement too. So those are the main points I'm thinking. And everything is very nicely delivered, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, thank you for going in depth about the parampara system. It's very important for us to hear it again and again. But since throughout the years, a lot of ISKCON followers, has go and think they get something better than what they got, what Srila Prabhupada gave us. So it's very good to be very faithful and being chaste to Srila Prabhupada and following in his footsteps and in the parampara which Srila Prabhupada gave us. Because without Srila Prabhupada, we won't having Krishna consciousness. So we should always put Prabhupada first on our list and follow whatever he asks us to do. I know we can get so many instructions from so many in Vrindavan. We have so many exalted devotee, all the devotee from all the Sampradaya. And then Prabhupada, I heard that Srila Prabhupada said, if you go to Vrindavan, in Krishna Balaram temple, you'll get everything that you need for your advancement in Krishna consciousness. You don't need to go and hear from others.
Yes, Mataji. And
Nice.
association of devotees are also very important, Mataji, especially for a devotee like me. I really need association of all of you because it's not only just reading and speaking, it's also understanding from other senior Vaishnavas, because that's our only hope in this bhakti life, the association with other devotees. So thank you so much for sharing, Mataji, comments. Thank you, Vindhyavali Mataji. Dronacharya Prabhu, you have any question, any chastisements, anything, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Madhavi Gaurangi. Mataji. It's very nice class. My question is this. You explained very nicely the process of knowledge coming down from above, from disciplic succession. Sometimes the question or the criticism is there that in doing so, people lose their individuality. They lose their ability to think for themselves, and we just become blind followers. And I found that to be the biggest, I guess, question or criticism. I'm an individual person. I should think for myself. I should come to my own conclusions. Not always having people tell me, necessarily what to do, or have the ability to change my mind, not necessarily just accept authority. What's our perspective on that, and how do we respond to situations like that?
So I mentioned the first point of this when I was subdividing this content. The first point I mentioned that man has 4 defects. We also, as ISKCON devotees, I think all of us get this question somehow or the other from other people or from the new people who are coming in. So I always tell them that even for the mundane education, we have to go and take education from the authority. If, for example, if I want to become, suppose, engineer, and I just read the books and I don't go to give exams in any university, I'm going to become engineer? No, I'm not. I'm not going to become anything. So for that also, if we have to, obviously we have to look for our audience. What person is who asked you this question? If a devotee is asking this question, or just newcomer is asking this question, then for newcomer is definitely you have to attend a university for getting the particular degree. So it's very important for you to go there to read their syllabus, not to just make up your own syllabus yourself. Okay, I want to do this book. I'm avoiding this. So I'm going to make this book. I'm going to read this book. I'm going to make my own syllabus. Is this happening? No. Even in schools, it's not happening. My son is in 2nd grade, and all the syllabus, everything is prepared by his teacher, right? So we have to follow in order to get something. So what they are trying to do, are they trying to become devotees? They are trying to enter into parampara, or they are trying to start bhakti? Then yes, they have to leave their individuality aside and follow what has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada, and then only they are going to make progress. But if they say we are not going to do that, then I think it's really time for them to work on the first step more, that where they want to go. They want to deal with all the problems in this world, or they really want to get themselves out from the miseries of this world. Where they want to go. If they want to remain in this material world, then remain. Do not lose your individuality. This is the choice which Krishna has given to all of us. And that's why, because of our individuality aspect, this material world has been created. Krishna is so kind that even to fulfill this desire of rebellious living entities, he created this material world through these three Vishnus. Without the help of Vishnus, can we create this material world? Ask them. Can we create this material world? No. Even can we create the sun, the moon? No. With the help of modes of material nature, everything is coming here, and everything is controlled from back by the energies, and then Mahavishnu, and then going up to Lord Shri Krishna. Everything is happening like that. So with the help of Krishna only, this material world is there. So if they want to remain happy in this material world, let them be. Because even one of the offenses is not to teach this knowledge who are not interested. Right? In Srimad Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Shri Krishna is mentioned. Do not impart this knowledge who are not interested in me, who are envious of me. So those jivas, those people who are saying we are not want to leave our individuality, I know it's a harsh word, but they are envious of Lord, because they want to be similar to God. Why? Krishna has every right. Why we are not doing it? So can I say that? No, I cannot say that. You are Temple President Prabhu. Can I come, walk in and say, I am going to make my own rules here. I am not going to agree what Prabhuji is saying. Will that going to happen? Will that going to help me? No, I am the ultimate loser. I will be the ultimate loser. Why? Because if I'm going to fight on this point about the authority, okay, I don't agree on your authority, whatever. I am the ultimate loser. I don't want to come to the temple, or maybe I don't want to engage in services, or maybe some other reason, or maybe I want to fight with you, or some other reason maybe. But if we look in the root is I am the loser and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And those individuals who don't want to leave their individuality and don't want to follow the path, they don't want to become devotees. That's the simple answer, Prabhu. I hope I tried my best. I'm sorry if I said something out of context, but that's what I just try to make the point.
Very nice. Thank you. The only thing I'll just continue that thought process with is that even within the system, there's the process, and you mentioned this during your class, but just to reiterate, the process of submissive inquiry.
Yeah.
Because our hearts have to be, and our minds have to be convicted. There has to be a conviction. So it's and when we become Krishna conscious, when we're trained in the principles of the Krishna conscious philosophy, we find that we actually experience a higher degree of freedom than what we would have experienced previously. And the Guru begins to engage us in ways according to our propensities and our desires, to allow us to use our natures in the service of Krishna. And in that way, we were able to express our creativities and our propensities in Krishna service.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Prabhu. The creativity, especially because the time is changing, the creativity in preaching processes, the creativity in other things are very good, and we can see that how Narad Muni is the guru of almost everybody in Srimad Bhagavatam. Narad Muni is imparted knowledge to Dhruva, Prahlad, Yudhishthir Maharaj, to Vasudev ji also, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita also the story of Mrigarari comes. So we can see that Narad Muni is a perfect guru, and how he is imparting knowledge depending on the disciple, how the disciple is. Mrigarari he said that kill the animals fully. He is Shrotriya Brahmanishta, and he is saying kill the animals fully, because he knows how to get this Mrigarari away from the sinful path and bring him to spirituality. And to Prahlad Maharaj, first he tested Prahlad Maharaj and said go back, and then finally he gave the mantra to him. And then we can see on so many other places how Srila Narad Muni is imparting knowledge or giving mantras to his disciples, and every particular, as you rightly mentioned, Prabhu, that how every individual has their own creativity, have their own individuality. We should use our individuality to the methods of preaching, but not to change the contents of what is there, what is have been provided by our superiors or our authority, which is coming through the parampara. We should not change that. Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, actually Prabhupada has mentioned this, but this is like this. We should not the method of preaching is dependent on the creativity of a person. That's why we see that how there are so many preachers in ISKCON, and we like some preachers more than the others. Why? Because they are so enlivening, they are so enthusiastic to impart their knowledge, and other preachers are also very good, their content is also very good, but somehow or the other we are not very attracted towards them. So the creativity is very good, individuality is very good, as far as it's not altering the content which is coming. Otherwise, there are so many things happening for preaching. I can see so many people are doing such nice things, and even for kids, there are so many story times and songs, and so many other things are coming up from the creativity of people. But if we are implying creativity and individuality of not following the path, then it's not right. That's what my point. And thank you so much, Prabhu, for adding.
Sure. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for joining today. Hare Krishna.
Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare